Welcome back, baseball fans. This video is eliminating the San Francisco Giants. They had a great run. They've had 2 good years of great runs. Can't quite get to the World Series. Have some great performances along the way. And in this video, we're going to look at, of course, this year's stats. And then we're going to look at last year's stats, too, because there's some really fun-looking things to look at. But I guess you got to start here and say, there he is, your Cy Young Award winner, Juan Marichal, 12-3. And look at the complete game category. 12 complete games, which is remarkable here. 2.23 ERA, 94-cent whip for your Cy Young winner. Look at the strikeout walk ratio as well. 129 innings. Now, Steve Hamilton was the go to Game 6. He failed, but he had just one loss. That was it. Before then, he was 3-0 with 9 saves and a 2.86 ERA as the closer, and that's what your closer is supposed to do. Just didn't work out for the Giants this year in that particular moment. Otherwise, he was a good closer. Look at Gaylord Perry. It's almost like you got to take Gaylord Perry and Juan Marichal, add the numbers, and divide in half. Perry's been awful. 4.97 ERA in 100 innings, 5-7. Offensively, McCovey came on really strong in the second half of the season. He didn't get into the All-Star game, but he hit 309, 1443, matching Jack Clark's number, 300, 12-44. Pendleton was a heck of a pickup from the 84 card set. And he did what he would do. He had 324 with the Cardinals that year, and he has 352 to lead the club. Nothing really stands out. All the guys who were supposed to do well. Bobby Bonds never had the high batting average. He had on base and power and stolen bases, and he did all that. So now I want to take a shift back to last year when they weren't quite as good, just because there's still something remarkable to look at. I didn't mention this till now, but Juan Marichal won the Cy Young last year as well. He was 11-3 last year in 140 innings, 11 more innings, 2.23 ERA. He only had 6 complete games, as they had, I guess, a better bullpen and decided to go to the bullpen more. So we have 2 huge monster pitching performances combined to exceed, I think it exceeds his innings pitched. Let me see. Marichal, how many innings did you pitch? No, he pitched 300. So we haven't quite reached the inning pitch threshold he did in 1 year. But he's pitched 269 innings in Strat-O-Matic the last 2 years, and he is 23-6. The ERA around 220. Holland and Anderson was bullpen by committee. You see Gary Lavelle there. Actually, he was great last year, and you saw in the previous video he failed for the Oakland A's in their elimination. So there's some Bay Area mystique going on there. Look at Gaylord Perry. 6-4 is not bad, but look at the ERA, 6.82. Now we have 200 innings of stats for Gaylord Perry. His card shows him to have a 2.49 ERA, and his ERA collectively is between 5.5 and 6. That's remarkable. Remarkably bad luck for 2 whole seasons. Maybe you should trade him to the Cleveland Indians. Giants. Offensively, McCovey does McCovey things. Clark's batting average wasn't that great, but he had the home runs. Bobby Bonds does Bobby Bonds things with the stolen bases and power and on-base percentage. Basically, I just wanted to show you last year to see Juan Marichal. So it's time to take a look at the San Francisco Giants. Don't shed any tears. They're going to be in the West. Their path to the division is not as bumpy because the Reds aren't in the National League West. They're in the National League North. And the Braves, they're also not in this division. So it could very well be the Giants and Dodgers division to take in the next in the early 70s here. So let's see who comes and goes. Larry Anderson will go away. Hamilton will come back. Courageous performance by Storm Davis. Did not give up a run in his last 2 starts. Got 0 wins. 0 wins, 0 earned runs allowed. Incredible. Jeff Zahn did a decent job there. There's Juan. He'll come back for 2 more years. No, I'm sorry. He'll come back for 1 more year. The 69, 70, 71, 72 is next year. So we'll get to use this card 1 more time. As we will Perry. Unless we trade him. Minton's gone. Holland's gone. Henderson, Hunt, Lanier. Flannery's gone. And Hart comes back. Healy comes back. Bonds. Pendleton leaves. Jack Clark will leave. Great card. He got hurt, I believe, because he only had 203 at-bats with these monstrous numbers. Nice player. Just like Jack Clark. And then McCovey, Mays, and Dietz. Okay, so do any of these 8 players have a chance to continue their career by going back to 1972? Jack Clark, no. Pendleton, no. Flannery, no, I don't think so. Holland, don't think so. Minton, maybe Zahn. I gotta look him up. I think Jeff Zahn might be really close to pitching in 72. Pitched for the Dodgers and Cubs. We'll look that one up. Storm Davis, no. Larry Anderson, no. Okay. None of these guys are coming back. And these are your Giants moving forward. And the thing what we're considering is, how are we going to match up against the Dodgers? I think this is a great opportunity for the Giants to change the course of history. Not much happened with the Giants in the 70s. Gary Matthews and Gary Maddox would break in with the Giants. So they do have some guys in the pipeline here. But let's see how... we have Dick Dietz, who was actually... oh, yeah, he was a Giant then, but he was... let's see here. And Fran Healy was also a Giant. Okay, so your 2 catchers, Healy and Dietz. McCovey at first. Hunt's at second. Hunt, who set a hit-by-pitch record, I think in 1972 or 71, I'm not sure, with the Expos. So they could trade him if the Expos are wanting him. They don't have a third baseman. Well, they do. They have Jim Hart, who can't field at third. They have Lanier at short, who's not all that. And now your outfield is... Ken Henderson was a DH last year. Now he gets to play. You got 3 center fielders here. What a luxury. 3 guys whose primary position is center field in the outfield. So, the offense needs, basically, nothing. So, you can just concentrate all your effort into the pitching staff, getting it set up. Well, this reminds me of the Mets. What they lack for in quality, they make up for more. Switch that. What they lack in quantity, they make up for with quality. Bing, bing. Again, I got to look at Gaylord Perry's numbers again because it's just stunning. There it is. Gaylord Perry. He's been getting lit up. I mean, look at this card. I don't get it, man. Why is everybody picking on Gaylord? He's a starter 9. I'm thinking next year you roll the odds. He's bound to have a great season. It's Marichel's the one you got to watch. He might not have a good 3rd year or 4th year in this case. Marichel, Perry, and then Hamilton. Wow. I mean, that's a real tough shame that he lost the game 6. So, yeah, the disadvantage these guys have versus the Mets is the Mets had 2 of their 3 guys, Seaver, Koosman, and Tug McGraw. 2 of those 3 were left-handed, where only Hamilton's left-handed. And the Mets also knew they were going to bring John Matlack into the rotation, so boom, the Mets are ready with their 3 lefties. Giants, we don't know yet. We got to find 2 lefties and build out the rest of this rotation. So, I'll just leave that card up there. We'll consult Juan Marichal and find out who he wants to have as his teammates. All right. Juan Marichal and the Giants are looking for some teammates here. Okay, so this is how history played out. It started to fall apart for the Giants in 72, and they never quite recovered after that. In 71, they lost in the LCS versus the Pirates, and they had 85 and 90 win teams in 69 and 70 as well. So aside from this being a bad year, a year where they were 69 and 86 with Charlie Fox as the manager, and attendance only 647,000 fans. Wow, 11th of 12th of 12 teams in the National League. Let's see on a very bad San Francisco team if we can find some diamonds in the rough. And when we do that, we can find an interesting diamond, if you want to call it. Okay, it's Chris Spire. Chris Spire with a 6.1 WAR. Now I know, his numbers aren't overwhelming, of course, but he plays shortstop. And at shortstop, he hit 269 with 15 homers and 71 RBIs. But if you recall from looking at the All-Star Game selection process and my commentary about National League shortstops, Chris Spire, believe it or not, could debut with the Giants and be one of the top shortstops in the National League. So, and it's a bad year as well. So that's what you get, and that's what you got to take. You have to take Chris Spire as your first player out of the 72 box for the Giants. Your shortstop is currently Hal Lanier, who you can trade or just have be the utility infielder. So let's keep going down the list here. Bonds we have. Jim Barr. Yeah, we could get him in the rotation. Ken Anderson's already there. Ron Bryant. Is this the year he wins 27 games? He does it in one of these years. Jim Willoughby. How about Gary Maddox? Wow. Kingman. Kingman is currently the property of the Red Sox, but they're always willing to make a deal. I don't think the Red Sox really want Dave Kingman anyway. So he could be, McCovey's still at first, but you could put Kingman in the outfield. And Dave Rader, we already have catchers, unfortunately. We have Fran Healy and Dick Dietz. A very young Steve Stone, Tito Fuentes, Ed Goodson. So let's skip down the pitching for a sec, because we really need to focus in on that. Bryant, yeah, I know he'll win 20 games in 73 or 4, but as a lefty, the 2.90 ERA and a $1.18 WHIP, he might be the second guy along with Spire you take from this box of cards. Look at that, Sam McDowell gets to San Francisco. And offensively, all those guys we mentioned, we could wait on Gary Maddox till he has some better years. And yeah, I think that's about it. Let's go back to the 71 team that lost the LCS. 10th in attendance, but they had 1 million fans. So you got Bonds, Willie Mays, Henderson, Dietz, Spire, McCovey. I mean, look at Spire. See, his numbers are worse. There's Marichal. Cumberland, look at that. A nice little story on John Cumberland this year. He's on the Colorado Rockies. Al Gallagher's on Portland. Tito Fuentes, I think he's on the Florida Marlins. And there's Gaylord Perry, Kingman. So from the 71 team, in the OPS category, I don't see anything jumping off the page here, other than the guys you already have. This could be the Kingman you pick. If you take this Dave Kingman, you get a 278 batting average, a 557 slugging, and an 885 OPS. Plus, we already saw that we liked Ron Bryant and Chris Spire in the 72 box. So ask Boston, what do you want for Dave Kingman? And then get Dave Kingman and stick him in the outfield, and he could take Jack Clark's spot. That's an idea. For pitching, Don McMahon had some good years. This is not one of them. That's the Steve Hampton card that we've been using that he just failed the worst time there. Ron Bryant struggles in 71. Okay, let's go back to 70. 86 wins. 10th in attendance in the National League, 740,000 fans. Boy, they don't draw very well, do they? Gaylord Perry, William McCovey, Willie Mays, Bobby Bonds, Dick Dietz, Ken Henderson, Don McMahon. This might be the year. There's Marichal. We have Hunt, Skip Pitlock, Gallagher, and Jim Ray Hart. Let's go right to the pitching here. Pitlock as a lefty is not good, but Don McMahon is a closer. And yeah, I could think Steve Hamilton could use a tag team partner, a righty really as good as him. And I know Don McMahon has some great years. So it could be this year for Don McMahon. 121 whip. Not much else. I don't see anybody else on this team that looks amazing that we don't already know about in some way. So let's go back to the 69 season. And of course, yeah, William McCovey, only 8.1? Really? I guess it depends on who the other first basemen are in the National League. But so William McCovey, his OPS was 1108, hit 320 with a 453 on base and slugged 656. And yeah, there's Marichal, Bonds, Perry, Hunt, Mays, Mike McCormick. Let's take a look at him. Dietz, Hyatt is on Atlanta, Fuentes on Florida, Frank Lindsay, Frank Lindsay and McCormick. Let's take a look at these guys. Lindsay is okay. Not much more than that. Here's Mike McCormick, another crafty lefty. You need three of them. You have Hamilton. We like Bryant. Is McCormick the third lefty? He's 11-9 with a 128 whip. That's pretty good. It could be Mike McCormick is the third lefty for the Giants. Doesn't seem like it's going to be difficult to find guys for the Giants to suit up. And with Chris Spire in the infield, solidifying their infield, and with Kingman getting into the outfield, not really worried about their offense either. Yeah, this is really going to be interesting with the Giants moving forward. I think they're going to be much better than they were historically because the Cincinnati Reds aren't going to be in their division. It's going to be the Giants, the Dodgers, a very good Houston team, and a pretty awful San Diego team until the mid to late 70s when the Padres start getting better players, but they don't have it right now. So yeah, it could be that the Giants and Dodgers do pretty much what they just did this past season. They kind of leapfrog each other at division winner and wild card, and maybe they'll just alternate it next year. So there you go. It's the future looks bright for the San Francisco Giants moving forward. They just missed out on a World Series opportunity. They could get right back to where they were, and then they need to catch some breaks in the postseason, and it could be pretty cool in the National League West. So that's it. Thank you for checking these videos out. We'll see you again next time.